Hi, this is Mrs. Chavez. Today we're still continuing World War II. We're on Chapter 32. This is Section 3, the Holocaust. This is probably going to be one of the hardest parts of teaching World War II. At least I believe so. As part of their vision for Europe, the Nazis proposed a new racial order. They proclaimed that the Germanic people, or the Aryans, were a master race. This was a misuse of the term Aryan. The term actually refers to the Indo-European people who began to migrate into the Indian subcontinent around 1500 BCE. The Nazis claimed that all non-Aryans, particularly Jews, were inferior. This racist message would eventually lead to the Holocaust, the systematic mass slaughter of Jews and other groups judged to be inferior by the Nazis. To gain support for his racist ideas, Hitler knowingly tapped into a hatred for the Jews that had deep roots in European history. For generations, many Germans, along with other Europeans, had targeted Jews as the cause of their failures. Some Germans even blamed Jews for their country's defeat in World War I and for its economic problems after the war. In time, the Nazis made the targeting of Jews a government policy. The Nuremberg laws, passed in 1935, deprived Jews of their rights to German citizenship and forbade marriages between Jews and non-Jews. Later laws were passed that also limited the kinds of work that Jews could do. But worse was yet to come. Early in November 1938, a 17-year-old boy named Herschel Grinspan, a Jewish youth from Germany, was visiting an uncle in Paris. While Grinspan was there, he received a postcard that said that after living in Germany for 27 years, his father had been deported to Poland. On November 7th, wishing to avenge his father's deportation, Grinspan shot a German diplomat living in Paris. When the Nazi leaders heard about the news, they launched a violent attack on the Jewish community. On November 9th, Nazi stormtroopers attacked Jewish homes, businesses, synagogues across Germany and murdered close to 100 Jews. An American living in Leipzig wrote, "Jewish shop windows by the hundreds were systematically smashed. The main streets of the city were a positive litter of shattered plate glass. It is for this reason that the night of November 9th became known as Kristallnacht, or Night of Broken Glass. Kristallnacht marked a major step up in the Nazi policy of Jewish persecution. The future for Jews in Germany began to look truly grim." After Kristallnacht, some Jews realized that violence against them was bound to be getting worse. By the end of 1939, a number of German Jews had fled to other countries. Many, however, remained in Germany, and later Hitler conquered territories in which millions more Jews lived. At first, Hitler favored immigration as a solution to what he called the Jewish problem. Getting other countries to continue admitting Germany's Jews became an issue, however. After admitting tens of thousands of Jewish refugees, some countries like Britain, France, and the United States abruptly closed the doors to further immigration. Germany's foreign minister observed, "We all want to get rid of our Jews. The difficulty is that no country wishes to receive them." When Hitler found that he could not get rid of the Jews through immigration, he put another plan into effect. He ordered Jews in all countries under his control to be moved to designated cities. In those cities, Nazis herded the Jews into dismal, overcrowded ghettos or segregated Jewish areas. The Nazis then sealed off the ghettos with barbed wire and stone walls. They were hoping that the Jews inside would starve to death or die from disease. Even under these conditions, these horrible conditions, the Jews hung on. Some, particularly the Jews in Warsaw, Poland, formed resistance organizations within the ghettos. They also struggled to keep up their traditions. Ghetto theaters produced plays and concerts. Teachers taught lessons in secret schools. Scholars kept records so that one day people would find out the real truth. Hitler's war on the Jews turned to the final solution in 1942. The Nazis built extermination camps equipped with these huge gas chambers that could kill as many as 6,000 people in one day. When prisoners arrived at Auschwitz, that's the largest of the extermination camps, they paraded before a committee of SS doctors. With a wave of the hand, these doctors separated the strong, mostly men, from the weak, mostly women, young children, the elderly, and the sick. Those labeled as weak would die that day. They were told to undress for a shower and then led into a chamber with fake shower heads. After the doors were closed, cyanide gas or carbon dioxide poured from the shower heads or holes in the ceiling. All inside were killed in a matter of minutes. Later, the Nazis installed crematoriums or ovens to burn the bodies. Some 6 million European Jews died in these death camps or in Nazi massacres. Fewer than 4 million Jews survived. Some escaped the horrors of the death camp with help from non-Jewish people. These rescuers, at a great risk to their own lives, hid Jews in their homes or helped them to escape to neutral countries. Those who survived the death camps were changed forever by what they had experienced. As Elie Wiesel, nearly 15 years old when he entered Auschwitz, noted, "Never shall I forget the little faces of the children, whose bodies I saw turned into wreaths of smoke beneath the silent blue sky. Never shall I forget those flames which consumed my faith forever. Never shall I forget those moments which murdered my God and my soul and turned my dreams to dust. Never."